Welcome to the Hoops Culture Podcast, where we talk about all things basketball, and we're back for episode 30. And it's going to be a good one because this NBA week, day, February 8th, 2022, has been a weird trade day. Saw two really weird trades that I wouldn't have. I don't know. It was just really weird. I don't know if it felt weird for anybody else, but it truly did feel weird for me. To where we saw four teams just make pretty interesting trades. Before that, how's everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing good. Um, you know, having a good life, doing things, making yourself better every day. That's all that matters. And yeah, right now I've been chilling. Same old stuff. Um, been really slacking on the episodes, but yeah, I need to get back into a rhythm and keep doing this stuff because man, I love it. It's so fun. It's really fun. But yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first trade we saw, I believe in the morning, um, we see the Pelicans and the Blazers make a deal, and it's taken so many years for the Portland Trailblazers, um, to finally trade one of the core guys. They officially trade CJ McCollum to the New Orleans Pelicans in probably one of the worst trades I've ever seen. Yeah, I really wasn't a fan of this deal at all. So let me tell you what New Orleans received: C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell. Um, Portland receives Josh Hart, Thomas Satoransky, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Didi Lozada, 2022 first round pick protected, which means that the first round pick will go to the Pelicans if it lands between 1 and 4, and if it goes between 5 and 14, it goes to the Blazers. But if it's between 15 through 30, it will go to the Charlotte Hornets. So yeah, the Charlotte Hornets are part of that a little bit. And two future second round picks, and I don't remember what year it was. Um, that was an interesting trade because actually a couple days ago we see Portland let go of Robert Covington and Norman Powell in a swap with the Clippers. They receive Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a future second for cap flexibility. I don't know. I'll get my thoughts on that after, but yeah, the Clippers get Robert Covington and Norman Powell. Just to touch on that, Robert Covington and Norman Powell will really help the Clippers next year when everybody comes back. Great players. Norman Powell's great. Robert Covington's a guy who could really elevate you as a team because he's a 3-and-D player, which really valued in this league. But on this trade, on the Portland Trailblazers side, at first, I was thinking, why? Just why? Don't you want to win? But um, it looks like they want cap flexibility and having assets so they could go grab a star and build around Damian Lillard. Okay, I believe that no star is going to want to go to the Portland Trailblazers just simply based off of the fact that Portland is not a desirable destination. You can't be saying, "Oh, I'm going to, trade guys away so we could get capped," because frankly, in today's league, the Portland Trailblazers are not a destination for star players. It's never been like that. Doesn't matter how good Damian Lillard is. It's just that's just how it's been. I think they should have really you could have got so much more for CJ. You could have got back another star in return. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. You could have got Ben Simmons. We've seen that talk happen before. I don't know. I'm just really not a fan of this on the Portland side, and frankly, I'm not a fan of this on the New Orleans side either. So they received C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell. Okay, Zion Williamson when he comes back. How does the fit work with Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, and C.J. McCollum? Three guys who, frankly, they need the ball in their hands to really score. I mean, well, C.J. McCollum and Brandon Ingram. C.J. McCollum's a great player. He's a young guy. He's a veteran. He's been in the league for a little while. I believe 9 years he's been in the league. It's I think having someone like C.J. McCollum has a positive effect to where we'll kind of tell the guys, yo, we need to really like step it up. We need to get some wins in because he's been on teams where they almost didn't make the playoffs, but they turned it up at the end. For the past couple of years with Portland, Portland's been like that. They'll either be the fourth seed one year, or they're the eighth seed, fourth seed, eighth seed, third seed, eighth seed. It's it fluctuates all the time. Last year they were the sixth seed, I believe. So yeah, I think that's positive. But fit wise, I don't think their fit's gonna be too well because CJ McCollum's not like a point guard, like a pure guard who could really like set up his teammates. He's a guy who's gonna go get you a bucket, and you already got Brandon Ingram who could go get you a bucket. Zion Williamson, when he comes back, he could go get you a bucket. Yeah, it's gonna add scoring, but at the end of the day, like, how is that all gonna fit together? I'm not too sure about that. So, if I were to grade uh Portland, well, New Orleans trade, I would give it a C plus. You do get a star in Larry Nance Jr., who's he's a good player. He's a good player, and Tony Snell is a decent rotational guy. He's not terrible. Um, on the Portland side, I gotta give it a D, man. I just really wasn't a fan of it at all. You know, you want to get assets, but the only way you're gonna get it is via trade, and yeah, I don't know. It's pretty tough to say. So yeah, it's really really tough. I mean, Portland, they want to fully reshape the roster around Damian Lillard now. Damian Lillard's getting old. I get that you're really trying your best to do it, but man, I don't know. I don't know what you do here. They created $21 million in trade exception today. Shout out to Woj ESPN. Adrian Wojnarowski, what a beast. Guy's always on Twitter. $60 million in salary cap space this year. That is okay. I get you want to get a free agent, but or you stock up the picks. Obviously, that would be more ideal. Maybe on draft day, especially if Portland continues to, I guess not be the team. Kind of, I guess, shut down Damian Lillard for the year and try to get a good pick. That's the smartest way to do it. So yeah, okay. Let's see. Aaron J. Fentress on Twitter says, I've been told numerous times that Damian Lillard is absolutely on board with the retooling of the Blazers roster, given that this season is a bust. Suggests that panicking fans all up in their feelings simply relax and let it play out, and that's what Lillard. Damn, what the hell? Damn, he didn't have to come at the fans like that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if he's on board, yeah, but you gotta fulfill your promise because if he's not if the team doesn't change this offseason, he's out of there. He's requesting a trade. Let's be honest. He'll really be out of there. But yeah, not really too much of a big fan of that trade. I don't know how it'll work in the long run, but hey, man, we'll see. We'll see. Next, really really interesting trade involves the Indiana Pacers and the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers um were teams that everybody saw as were going to be the most active in on the trade deadline, and they're already active today. So I see some more trades coming through too. Um, so Indiana receive Indiana trades Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and a future second round pick to Sacramento. And um, Sacramento trades to Indiana Tyrese Halliburton, which was a shocker, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. Okay, okay. Let's talk about the Sacramento Kings because I have a lot to say. A lot to say. Why? Just simply, why? Why? There was no reason to trade Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis because, frankly, Tyrese Halliburton I think fits way more with Domantas Sabonis than De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis do. Um, like why? There was no point of doing that because I feel like if you got Fox, you wouldn't have to give up Buddy Hield or Tristan Thompson. If you did it Fox and Sabonis straight up, well, obviously some more filler contracts, but I feel like that would have been way better. You didn't have to trade Tyrese Halliburton. Jeremy Lamb's inconsistent, like an inconsistent player. Justin Holiday, they're frankly almost the same type of player. Guys who are inconsistent, but they could get that occasional like 10 to 15 points per game. But okay, I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that they're probably trying to go for a play-in spot. And say like I guess just try to get the guys to buy in a little bit more because frankly, I don't think anybody on that Sacramento team doesn't want to play, and I think they really do want to keep De'Aaron Fox, especially with the talks that like people were saying, oh, De'Aaron Fox is gonna he's not happy with the team, so they want to go all in with Sabonis and try to get that play-in spot there. Let's see, they are 2 games behind the Pelicans, the 10th spot. Another team that's really going to try to make the playoffs, especially with that CJ McCollum trade. But you know, I feel like they're still going to be active. Harrison apparently Fox is off the table on the trade market. They want to keep Fox. Harrison Barnes is the guy who's really on the trade block now, more so than what Fox was. So I think they're gonna try to trade Harrison possibly to. I'm not sure. I'm hearing about the Knicks possibly inquiring about him. So it's really tough to say. Really tough to say. But yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan. But on the other hand, Indiana, I'm a huge fan of this trade. Indiana gets Tyrese Halliburton, who's been balling out this year. I mean, he's been really really good. Buddy Hield, who's one of the best 3 point shooters in the league, and Tristan Thompson, a solid center. Nothing too crazy there. But yeah, I mean, the shocker was that they got Tyrese Halliburton, and Indiana now has like no pressure. Like they don't have how do I say it? Like for Malcolm Brogdon, like they now could trade him without any like worry. Yeah, yeah. They could trade Malcolm Brogdon without any worry, and they don't have to worry about who's the point guard for the future because you got Tyrese Halliburton now. I think you could really get a lot of assets for Malcolm Brogdon. And now Miles Turner, I think, should stay. I think the core three got to be Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, Chris Duarte, core four because Buddy Hield in the mix. Man, that's very underrated for the future too. I mean, Buddy Hield is one of the older guy. Like, he was the older guy in that 2016 draft. I mean, I think he's 28 years old now. Yeah, he's 29. Yeah, he's about to turn 30 years old. He's one of the vets on the team, but I feel like he fits well with those young guys because he can really he can mentor them a little bit. But Halliburton's gonna be the star of the show in Indiana. Indiana Pacers fans get get hyped for him because he's amazing. He's a beast, and you guys are really gonna enjoy the show for how many years he's gonna be there. It's gonna be fun. But if I were to give them trade grades, Sacramento, I would give Sacramento A solid, just a C. Not nothing too crazy. I just feel like I don't know. It's just something about that trade. It's just it just feels off, and you're really pushing for a play-in spot. Like I think you should more try to push for a playoff spot, like not a play-in spot. Like really try to get into that top six in the West. Indiana, they get an A- for me, man. That was great. Tristan Thompson's just gonna be the filler guy there. I don't think he'll be there any longer than he should be. But Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield pickups are crazy, crazy good. So yeah, props to both of those teams. They did a wonderful job. Um, Indiana, not both, but Indiana. Props to Indiana. So, anyways, we're gonna go into potential trades we could see for some players soon. Some soon. Sorry, trade candidates. Uh, Number one right now is, well, the trending topic is James Harden because James Harden's not playing tonight. It's pretty odd they're not playing him. I don't know the exact reason why they're not playing him. Um, okay, it's the hamstring injury. But that I don't know. I guess people were over exaggerating why he's not playing, but it's still the hamstring injury. Obviously, you got to keep that rested. But um, I don't know. I've been hearing a lot of talk that James Harden is going to get traded, which is I don't know. It kind of came out of nowhere for me, like out of nowhere, like to where why would you trade him if you want to win a championship? But it's apparently that he doesn't like the Brooklyn squad, like how they play and stuff, and the way they've been playing the last what was it like 8 games? They're on that losing streak. So yeah, a prime destination for him would would definitely be Philly, I guess, because Philly has the best to kind of match. You got Simmons. You could add Seth Curry in there, Matisse Thybulle, one of those guys, and Daryl Morey finally will get James Harden after get him back after the Houston days, which would be pretty good for Embiid, but I don't know. I don't know about that fit too much. Ben Simmons going to Brooklyn would be very good for him just for the fact that like he'll be with a guy Kevin Durant who could space the floor and Kyrie Irving, and you could really have Kyrie Irving play off the ball and have Ben Simmons just play that point guard role, dish it out, and even when Kyrie and KD could rest, he could just go into the game and play with the reserves, and the reserves look pretty good this year too. So I think Ben Simmons going to Brooklyn would be very very nice for him, and it would be kind of funny because I don't know if you guys remember, in the 2019 playoffs, Ben Simmons and Jared Dudley had that little beef, and they almost fought, I think, and Jared Dudley was really like testing Ben Simmons because Jared Dudley was with the Nets and he was kind of that hype guy, that hype man who was going after him the entire time. Got all the guys out of the game, this and that. It was pretty. It was pretty entertaining to watch, especially I get the coverage for the Nets. So yeah, yeah, it was a really fun. That was a really fun Nets team, by the way. Just one of the best one of the best teams to watch. They were really energetic. Yeah, but Ben going to Brooklyn would really be a good fit for him. Next, uh, hmm, a trade candidate I do see from my New York Knicks, Julius Randle. I think he's going to be a guy who a lot of teams are shopping for. Um, I say if they want a good three, like a third, fourth guy on the squad, I think Julius Randle's the guy to I guess I guess be that third, fourth guy. He really hasn't had the best year with New York this year compared to last year. He's struggling with the coaching staff. Um, it's been tough for Julius. A team that I did think would have been a great fit for him was Sacramento. There was talks about a De'Aaron Fox, Julius Randle trade, but I guess that's not happening now, especially with the fact that Tyrese Halliburton's gone. So I think they want to keep De'Aaron Fox and Davion Mitchell together. So yeah, I don't think that's happening at all. But you know, it's pretty tough to say where he could go. It's like it's really hard, especially since he's been that number one guy for 3 years on the Knicks. So seeing that change, like he'll not really get used to the change like that. I'll just tell you that it'll be tough for him. But yeah, anyways, that's my thought on Julius Randle and James Harden. I think those guys are gonna be the prime trade candidates for the trade deadline. And yeah, that's that for today's episode 30. Appreciate all the people who've been rocking with me since episode 1. And yeah, I'll see all you guys later. Peace.